This is Oklahoma Inside Out, a weekly broadcast of Cimarron Alliance that focuses on the issues, culture, and people important to LGBT Oklahomans. And now, here's your host for Oklahoma Inside Out, Scott J. Hamilton.
Hi, this is a great show today because it's a great week in LGBT Oklahoma history. We're going to be talking about something that could be a true game changer for all of us in the LGBT community right here. Our guest is someone that we've wanted to have on our broadcast for the last 2 years, and finally we have a true reason to have him as a part of our show today. I know you're going to be glad that you tuned in because, like I said, this will have a very positive changing impact on all of us here in Central Oklahoma. Quick word of thanks to Robert Matson, our guest on last week's broadcast. If you missed it, I hope that you'll go back and listen to it. Great producer and playwright here in Oklahoma City, doing some good theater in and for the LGBT community. Our guest today is past chair of the board of directors of Cimarron Alliance, and my good friend, someone who I'm really happy could stop by and visit with us today, Jeremy Hood. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Scott.
At first glance, this could seem like a bit of navel-gazing, but this is not promoting Cimarron Alliance or a Cimarron event. This is truly talking about something that will have a powerful impact on the LGBT community. Next week, we'll open the doors to the Cimarron Alliance LGBT Equality Center. You, sir, have been a driving force in making this happen. You had a vision, you shared that vision, you've articulated it and stepped forward piece at a time in making this happen. Along the way, a lot of people have joined with you in that shared vision. But let's go all the way back. I know that you've been involved with the idea of an LGBT Equality Center for a number of years. When did that start for you, Jeremy?
Well, it's always been in the back of my head. I think I've always wanted it for Oklahoma City. I joined the Cimarron board in 2008, and it's kind of whenever I started wanting to, put my toes into human rights advocacy, and I knew Cimarron would be a good thing for me. Excuse me.
Did you ever imagine then, just kind of stepping onto the board, that you would ever come into such a strong leadership role?
No, I didn't. I had no idea. I never look at myself as being a leader, and I was always really nervous of whenever I did finally whenever I became co-chair. Is kind of when my passion really hit me for the work that we're doing. Like, I was so excited about the work that we are doing, and I'm not sure how I did as a leader, but I know that I have my own skill set. I have my drawbacks too, but
I think that your leadership role is, you can't argue with the fact that you were very instrumental in getting us to the place where, like I said, next week we are opening the doors.
All right, and that was kind of my motivation too. Like I was saying, I joined the board of Cimarron in 2008. Shortly after, there was a group that was focused on getting a community center together.
Now, was this like a broad group, or?
Yeah, it was just some other members of the community wanting, just to kind of get some ideas together and figure out what we need, how we're going to do it, and things like that. And the group kind of just fizzled away. I mean, nothing ever really became of it.
But it's hard, don't you think?
Everybody
has their own ideas, and
right,
and they're all valid. But how do you put all that together and make it coalesce to a reality?
Right. Well, it's a big job, and I was nervous to even start thinking about it, but after that kind of died down, and it was always in the back of my head still, but I got more and more involved with Cimarron, and then I thought, why not Cimarron? Why don't we start to talk about this? So then I came to you, and then you and I started talking about it, And eventually, at our strategic planning in
2010, I think.
2010, we actually brought it to the board and decided that that's what we wanted to do. So,
And if I recall correctly, there was strong agreement on the board then that we needed to have this at least as a long-term goal.
oh right, we did decide that it would be a long-term goal. No immediate plans. It was just going to kind of be there. We would have a year to talk about it, and so we did. So we made it a part of our monthly board meetings. You and I met pretty often and would talk about it, kind of getting our vision together, and then our strategic planning in
2011.
11, it was a main part of what we were talking about. How can we get it done? What can we do? What are the steps that we need to take? How can we go about getting funding? All of that stuff started coming up, and we all realized what a big job it was going to be.
Absolutely.
And a lot of us were nervous. We're still nervous, I think. I think we're still nervous doing it, but I mean, we've had a really good team. We all collaborate really well together, and I think that's kind of how we got to where we are today.
I want to look at what movement occurred going from that, yes, we're going to do it, to actually making it happen. We're coming up on a break, but when we come back, let's delve into that a little bit deeper. Our guest today is Jeremy Hood.
Hi, I'm David Macy, a board member of the Cimarron Alliance, and I'm asking for your help. We work every single day to make life better for gay Oklahomans, now and for generations to come, but we can't do it without you. Please consider making a gift of just $20 a month to the Cimarron Alliance and be a part of our march toward equality. Visit www.cimarronalliance.org today and make your pledge. It's a gift you can feel good about giving.
It's a brand new year, and the Oklahoma Observer has a brand new look. We asked our readers what they wanted, and we've given it to them. Now, the Oklahoma Observer arrives in your mailbox in a convenient magazine format. That means more room for more stories that are important to you. What's more, our online version at www.okobserver.net is updated throughout the day, so you have instant access to the news, analysis, and in-depth reporting that you just can't find anywhere else. The legislature will soon be in session, and you can count on the Oklahoma Observer to be your eyes and ears at the Capitol and beyond. If you are a progressive Oklahoman, you owe it to yourself to be informed about issues and legislation that impact you, your family, and the LGBT community. Visit www.okobserver.net today. Our only agenda is to provide critical news to critical thinkers.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Inside Out. I'm Scott J. Hamilton. Our guest today is past chair of the Cimarron Alliance Board of Directors, Jeremy Hood. Jeremy, pick up back where we left off, and that is the board agreed, yes, this is something we're going to do, and then the next year it was like, okay, let's put the steps in place, and that was 2011. When we got to 2012, where was the process at that point?
2012, I think, is kind of when the nerves really did hit everybody. I mean, we all realized it was a big job. We didn't know, is this something that we can accomplish? Is it feasible? Are we going to be able to get the funding?
Absolutely.
Which is the main thing was how, I mean, I can't even express to you or to the listeners the feeling that you have when you actually get this all on paper. We had it all on paper. This is our programming. This is how much money we'll need. This is what, I mean, it is overwhelming. So
it is, and we should also remember that early in 2012, the economy was still really tight.
Right. Well, and two, we were still trying to manage our existing programming. We were still, trying to get funds for the work that we were doing and all of that. So, I mean, it was overwhelming. I think we took a long look at it, decided we needed some more time, and then we took that time. And I think we were able to organize our thoughts, organize ourselves, and it just kind of started to flow after that.
You've worked with leaders from organizations similar to Cimarron, community centers around the country.
Right.
How do you see this center in Oklahoma City comparing to other cities? And I'm not talking about huge metropolitan areas, but other cities our size. Do you think we're ready for this?
I think we kind of have to be ready. I think we need it so bad. I think this is something that we really, really need. Anytime I travel a lot, and anytime I do, if they have a community center in that area, I try to visit it. I try to see what their community wants from them, what they expect from them. And this really is all about the community. It's not about Cimarron. It's not about me and my vision. It really is about what does Oklahoma City's LGBT community need.
I'm glad you brought that up. We are embarking upon a community needs assessment, which is a major multi-part process that we hope will tell us a lot more than what anybody really knows about the community. Where do we live? Where do we shop? What's our health care like? Are we married? Are we partnered? Are we single? Because all those things come into play. But as a part of this, we're also asking what people need or want from a community center. And I think that's a very, very important thing to underscore. We're obviously not going to have the results of all that data for a while. But even in the opening of the center, the things that we are planning in terms of support services and new groups and that kind of thing, those aren't things that you or the board are saying, here, we know what you want, therefore we're providing it to you.
Right. The needs assessment was a vital step in the process, because we knew that it's going to be ours meaning ours as a community.
And that's I believe the real opportunity here to gather people in ways that oftentimes we don't have to interact. I know that as a middle-aged man, I don't have an opportunity to often interact, at least socially, or for any length of time with people who maybe are 20 years older or 20 years younger than me.
Right.
And by having this center where men and women, young and old, and allies, we certainly want to include allies.
Definitely our allies, yes. And that's why that's why it will be an equality center. I mean, it's equality for all people.
It really is. And we later on this year coming up, we have the Equality Run, which
awesome.
I think it is too.
It's going to be very awesome.
But that's another example of what you're talking about. It's not just for the LGBT community. Obviously, that is the group that we are here to serve.
Right.
But as a result of our work, the hope is that will truly motivate others and engage other people in equality for all Oklahomans.
Right. And since we've embarked on even the idea of making this community center a reality, look at the things that have come to us.
Oh my
this
gosh.
Equality Run. Like, there's been so many things that have happened. The Oklahoma group that did our needs assessment.
The Diversity Business Association.
Yes, all of that. That's what I mean by everything just really kind of started flowing. And that's why I know that we need this, and we're going to get this, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, I'm excited too. We're coming up on a break in a moment, but when we come back, I'd like to just look at some of the things that are happening. And obviously we want to let everybody know about the grand opening reception that's coming up next week. We'll do all of that when we come back. Our guest today is Jeremy Hood, past chair of the Cimarron Alliance Board of Directors. We're talking about the new LGBT Equality Center.
Hi, I'm Lorette Taylor, past chair of Cimarron Alliance. I joined the board because I believe in the vision and the work of this organization. We're working every day listening to the concerns of our community and helping to address those very concerns. I hope you will consider supporting Cimarron with a gift. Even $10 a month will help. Working together, we really can achieve equality for all gay Oklahomans. Please visit www.cimarronalliance.org and make your gift today.
It's a brand new year, and the Oklahoma Observer has a brand new look. We asked our readers what they wanted, and we've given it to them. Now, the Oklahoma Observer arrives in your mailbox in a convenient magazine format. That means more room for more stories that are important to you. What's more, our online version at www.okobserver.net is updated throughout the day so you have instant access to the news, analysis, and in-depth reporting that you just can't find anywhere else. The legislature will soon be in session, and you can count on the Oklahoma Observer to be your eyes and ears at the Capitol and beyond. If you are a progressive Oklahoman, you owe it to yourself to be informed about issues and legislation that impact you, your family, and the LGBT community. Visit www.okobserver.net today. Our only agenda is to provide critical news to critical thinkers.
Thanks again for being with us today on Oklahoma Inside Out. We're talking with Jeremy Hood. Jeremy, just before the break, you said that this is going to be our center, meaning everybody is truly welcome and included here.
That's
I think that some of the, we should say that some of the centers that we've talked with, we've worked with at conferences and so forth, some of them have no paid staff, and they're working out of a 600 square foot office. But functioning as a community center, and others like in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, certainly Chicago, New York, those are structures with thousands and thousands and thousands of square feet.
Right.
So it's all across the board in terms of what's being offered and what the needs are.
That's one thing, you and I have both gone to the Centerlink conference. We became a member of Centerlink, and Creating Change is another one of the big conferences that we go to, and that's one of the good things is you get to see what all is out there. Like you said, you have, centers with $1 million budgets, and you have some centers that have no budget.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another thing. That's another reason why, as a community center, equality center, that's why they are so important. Some of them have no budget; they have a space.
Now,
Just a safe space.
I
for
should
people
say
to go to.
that we didn't have the UPS man did not bring us a bundle of cash one day and say, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Oh, no.
Instead, we are truly reliant on the contributions of individuals within the community.
Yes.
We don't have a big stockpile of money right now, and so that brings us around to volunteers. The new center, will it have many opportunities for volunteering?
Oh, I think so. One of the areas where we've kind of lacked is within our volunteer structure. We've not been able to really put one into place because we haven't had many opportunities. We try to make opportunities, and I really hated that. But I think once we get the doors open, there's going to be so much for other people to come do. And, I have people every day who know that I'm affiliated with Cimarron. They ask, how can I help? What can I do? Can I paint something? Can I clean something? Can I do, something?
And while we're talking, I want to ask our producer, Chris, I just can't recall the email address for volunteers, if he could get that for us. But we're going to be open from noon to 8, Monday through Friday. That means that someone has to be at reception all of that time. It means that people have to be greeted, and that rooms have to be made ready, and someone help with scheduling. And so there are, I think, going to be many, many opportunities for involvement.
Definitely. I think one of the things that I hope to do is to coordinate the programming. I hope to have all kinds of groups that want to meet there, and so we'll need people to help me facilitate things like that. And
so if anybody wants to volunteer, just send an email to volunteer@cimarronalliance.org, or you can go to cimarronalliance.org/volunteer, and we'll get connected with you that way.
Yes, and we are in process of getting a volunteer coordinator in position, and
so it's all going to fit right together.
Yes, we're going to get a structure wrapped around it to where we can bring opportunities for those people that want to help.
Well, Jeremy, you personally are so responsible for so much of this work, and I'm delighted that you've been here with us today. And we want everyone to come to the grand opening reception next week. That's Thursday, the 21st of March at 6 o'clock in the evening. The address is 5613 North May Avenue in Oklahoma City. It's the corner of May Avenue and United Founders Boulevard. I'm sure glad you were with us today. Our producer is Chris Moyer. Cimarron Alliance board co-chairs are Randall Marsh and Catherine Primus. Our announcer is Lisa Pizzeri. From all of us at Cimarron Alliance and Oklahoma Inside Out, thank you for joining us, and until next time, please hang on to the vision of a fair and just Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Inside Out is a production of Cimarron Alliance, Central Oklahoma's preeminent LGBT advocacy and education organization. If you have a topic you would like to hear discussed or a person who you would like to hear interviewed, please call 405-495-9300 or email oklahomainsideout@cimarronalliance.org. Please feel free to share the link to this broadcast with your friends.